Alrighty, well, I'm just going through some of these fat acceptance fail things because sometimes it's funny to watch fat people do stupid shit. Anyway, now you know what I'm getting up to, and I'm not looking at the other fat man in the van. Anyway, all this bullshit. Intellectual feminist. Now, this is actually another video that's using this as a fair use thing. Health at every size. Diet and exercise have absolutely no effect on health. It's all genetics. Well, any medical stuff will tell you it's a mix of environment and genetics. Not all genetics. But let's have a look at something else. This chick, honest to God, this so-called intellectual feminist is that fucking stupid with genetics that I really think a next video should be why the moon is made of green cheese. And most of you don't know, but I had a job for a while, a few years ago, that did involve genetics. Although I'm not going to frickin' go into it in detail, I can tell you some pretty fantastical stuff about semen and a lot of other odds and sods. But to be quite honest, I first learned about genetics at school in my psychology class at the age of 16, where they explained that, yeah, there is more than two genders. You have not just X, Y, and XX, male and female. You have X, Y, Y. They call it the super male. Those of you who watched Full Metal Jacket, there's a guy who they mentioned something about the extra Y chromosome, and he's fairly daft. Yeah, that is the XYY. I forget what super male is what they refer to it as. And there's, I think it's XYX, which gives you, well, it's a man with boobs, basically. It's Klinefelter syndrome is what it's known as. And then you've got just straight X. And that's a very butch-looking woman who is infertile. Why are they infertile? Well, they have technically one less chromosome than everyone else. And if you have a different amount of chromosomes, you can't interbreed with another species. This is why you don't have half frickin' sheep, half fucking cow running around. Because, the genes ain't the right number, you got real troubles. But there are some bizarre things like tigons and ligers and a mule, which is a mix between a horse and a donkey. But I think you have to have a male donkey, is it? I can't remember. There's one that it has to go a specific way with that. But anyway, let's move on and let's see how frickin' incredibly stupid this person is. Yes, pussy. Hang on, I'm doing stuff, pussy.
Diet and exercise have absolutely no effect on health. It's all genetics.
Okay.
Why does health at every size only apply to females?
I'll turn this up a bit because it's getting a bit hard to hear.
Member of the female race has two X chromosomes. Males have only one X chromosome and one Y chromosome in the left testicle, the aggression chromosome.
Now, I'm not joking. Okay, some women don't have X and X. Some women have just X, and they're the ones who are infertile. But I'm not joking, right? X chromosome in one ball, Y chromosome in the other ball. I'm not frickin' joking. Aggression chromosome. Now, let's play the last little bit again if we can here. have one chromosome, X chromosome, and one Y chromosome in the left testicle. The aggression chromosome. This explains the aggressive nature and passion for assaulting women. I mean, you can't make this shit up. But the big scary thing of all this is...
I only apply to females. Every member of the female race has two X chromosomes. Males have only one X chromosome and one Y chromosome in the left testicle, the aggression chromosome.
That is so full of shit, it is unbelievable. Because every damn cell in a male's body has a big cluster of other chromosomes. I believe there's 26 in total, if I'm not incorrect. Can't quite remember. But the last two are X and Y. And for women, the last two are X and X. You have an XY chromosome, if you're a male, in every friggin' cell in your damn body. The only thing that doesn't is your semen. That ends up making only half the amount of chromosomes that you would otherwise have in your semen. And at times there are conditions whereby, and this does happen sometimes with guys who have had the snip, you know what I mean when I say have the snip. You know what I mean, I forget the proper name. The immune system will actually start attacking one of your testicles, if not both, because, well, it actually attacks both, because it is something that's in the body that doesn't match the right amount of chromosomes for the other cells in your body, because the sperm doesn't actually have the right amount of chromosomes, of course, because it needs an egg to blah, 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 make a baby. Anyway, the long and short of it is that it is the case that at times the immune system will identify the testicles as almost like some foreign bacteria growing, because, you know, when they come across bacteria, they can say, okay, rightio, this doesn't have the right amount of chromosomes. And sometimes then as a result, well, you know, things that have got the right amount are left alone. Things that don't are attacked, and when they realise that there's a huge amount of these things with not the right amount of chromosomes being produced by the balls, your immune system can actually attack your balls. And there's probably a name for it, but the name escapes me at the moment. In fact, I don't think I've ever heard the name, but I have heard of the condition. But this is so shockingly stupid, and they're claiming that also if we let this play...
This explains their aggressive nature and passion for assaulting women. The second X chromosome in the female ovary is the conversion chromosome. This converts all fats, salts, and sugars to nutrients, which are digested, meaning that added with...
So what she's actually saying is that by having XX chromosomes, first of all, you know, then there's the ovaries. Well, this one comes from one side and this one comes from the other side, blah, blah. And... honest to God, now they're saying that this is the chromosome that makes you fat. So if that's the case, how the frickin' hell this conversion chromosome only applies to women? Because what it's actually saying is that only women can be fat. Is this for real? Well, so what about men? Does their aggression chromosome make them fat? Because here you're saying that the second X chromosome in women is one that, you know, converts it into, you know, into fat. I mean, honest to God, you know, you couldn't really make this shit up, you know. And this whole idea, furthermore, that you can have you've only got one's got the X chromosome and the other's got the Y chromosome is bullshit, because in sheep there is a thing they call stags, and that is a male sheep with only one testicle. And trust me, it is not unknown for them to produce offspring only having one testicle. It all works fine. Not always, but, often enough. There's a fair shot that, and it's been known that there's been, they put wethers which are castrated rams in. They're castrated when they're only like little bloody 12 weeks old things, when they're only little lambs. They go and put castrated rams known as wethers in with ewes, and there have been cases where they've said, stuff it, we'll just leave a stag in there. He's only got one testicle, he's probably not going to do much with it. And then they find out that he done a whole lot with it. And they got all these little lambs popping up all over the damn place, So a lot of this stuff is just nothing but sheer bullshit, and it's just the way it is, really, Does that mean if you lose your nuts you turn girly? Well, you do slightly, but I work with a guy who was definitely plenty guy, and he wasn't girly at all, and he only had one testicle because the other one got removed from cancer. Honest to God, talk about bloody bullshit, and the name they give themselves, intellectual feminist. You've got to be frickin' joking.